the links kasi we have an ongoing issue pa din with the um, file storage ng server natin. So hindi nasi-save yung mga recordings ng classes for the semester as of the moment. So yun, i-upload i-re-download ko din, i-re-upload ko na lang sa other platform for your own disposal. Okay, anyway, going back again, so our topic for today is timber design introduction. So timber most commonly refers to the wood of trees that can or will be used for building material. Class, take note that um, not all woods of trees are suitable for for building material just merely because there are woods na hindi siya ganun katigas, and then there are woods na hindi siya hindi naman siya nakakapag-form ng mga big sizes of trees. So I don't know which exact of those, pero like for example yung not sure ha, pero based what I know, like for example yung calamansi tree. So we don't normally use that kasi it branches out kasi fruit bearing yun eh. So we don't use, again, not all of the trees but only to the trees that will be or suitable for building material. So ang tawag doon for those woods are timber. The word can refer to living, standing trees themselves or trees that have been cut down but not yet processed. Okay, meaning they have not yet been milled or cut into planks. So timber, so hindi pa siya na pa-process. Timber ang tawag doon. Timber is a material that is used for a variety of construction forms such as beams, columns, trusses, girders, and is also used in building systems such as piles, deck members, railway sleepers, and in formwork for concrete. So we use timber not only as a building materials, like what's being said here, the beams, columns, trusses, girders. Open natin yung pointers. Okay, but we also use them particularly for formworks. Okay, sa natin sa construction natin way of working. And then they also use this before sa piles and then deck members and then your railway sleeper. So as you've seen naman siguro if you've been before sa yung PNR natin diyan sa may Poresa, yung malapit sa main. So yung lumang railway uses railway sleepers timber yung gamit. Okay. Yeah. Then what is lumber naman? Okay, so let's differentiate lumber from timber. Lumber typically refers collectively to wood that's been processed, okay, for use as a building material, wood that has been milled and cut into boards or planks. Okay, so ibig sabihin na process na siya. So this cutting happens in a lumber mill. So yun yung lugar kung saan kinikinis yung troso and then we process it into a lumber para maging finished product na siya. Okay, and then it is also sold at the lumber yard. Okay, sa US, so lumber and these other related words are primarily used in US and Canada. And in UK, yung ang tawag nila sa prepared wood for building naman is timber and it is sold at what's known as timber yard. Okay. Pero so in addition, so it's just a mere coincidence that timber and lumber both ends with MBER. So wala siyang correlation with TI and LU for the MBER. Okay, timber comes from an old English word that's originally mean house and then building material, wood, trees. Okay, then the lumber as noun comes from the verb word lumber, meaning to move clumsily or awkwardly. And then cutting of timber into lumber is done nga again sa lumber mill, and then the one that's working with timbers are historically called lumberjacks. Sila yung mga nakikita natin sa mga old movies, I think, kung nakakita na kayo. Yung mga parang naka jumpsuit, parang ano ba yun? Parang naka, ano ang tawag doon? Yung pantalon, tapos ano siya, meron siyang continuously na ano sa may upper body. Anyway, I forgot the term. Pero para siyang jumpsuit. So let's discuss these parts of um the tree. So pagka pinutol natin yung puno, so ito yung normally na makikita natin. All right. So let's go first with the outermost layer, that is the cambium. Okay, ito yung hindi pala, yung inner and outer bark pa pala. Inner and outer bark. So yan yung portion of the tree. Yung parang nagbibitak na. And then right after that is the cambium. And then as you can see, there are circles within the tree. So ang tawag natin dyan is annular ring. And then if we're going to zoom in with that, so ganito yung itsura niya. Parang pa ganito. Ayan. A part of those, yung mga bigger circles are called springwood, and then the other one is the summerwood. Then yung discoloration sa loob, as you can see, parang as the tree or as the circumference of each annular rings increased, so nagiging lighter siya kasi medyo malayo na siya sa loob, which is the source of the I guess the source of the yung moist. And then ito na yung mga old layers ng ating annular ring, which is the sapwood. And then from this point up until this one, yung medyo darker, that's the heartwood. And then yung gitna is the pith. Okay, as you can see, meron tayong maliliit na circles. Take note, ang sabi nila is that each annular rings, kaya siya annular, yun yung edad ng puno. Kung gaano kadami yung annular rings, ibig sabihin ganun nakatanda yung puno. Okay, so yung mga maliliit na circles, so those are the juvenile wood. Yeah. And then the one that's striking from the pith, going across the tree, that is called rays. Ayan, I think na-cover na natin to. And then, as we process the timber into a lumber, so there are defects na makikita natin. So, first is the natural and conversion defects. Class, pagka binyo nyo naman to sa PowerPoint, clear naman to. Di ba ka dito lang medyo malabo? Okay, so natural and conversion defects. So, meron tayong tinatawag na shake. Then, malabo nga, knot. And then, wave ata to. Malabo nga dito sa end ko. Teka, wait, i-zoom in natin. Malinaw to eh. Ay, malabo nga. Ayan, flat grain, cross grain, diagonal grain. Ayan, so as you can see, ayun yung mga defects. Parang naturally may crack na yung puno. Or minsan may hole, binutas ng mga woodpeckers, ganyan. And then eto din, kapag may butas tapos nung kinat, mayroong mga maitim na portion sa kahoy. Or minsan ito may chip in na hindi pantay. So those are the natural or the conversion defects. Meaning as we process or as we cut pala, lumalabas na yung defects. Conversion, when we convert timber into lumber, so nagkakaroon na ng mga defects. So yun yung tinatawag nating natural and conversion defects. Again, it normally occur. Usually nandiyan na yung mga defect na yan. Pero wala pa tayong masyadong ginagawa dyan. At maliban na lang sa pagputol sa kanya based on its size. Okay? Then we also have the seasoning defect. Pag sinabi nating seasoning, normally we dry yung ating kahoy. Minsan nilalagay natin sa kiln, sa oven, ganon, para matuyo. Okay? So, as we do that, the reason why is para malesen natin yung moisture inside the timber. Okay? Now, as we do that, yan, normally nagkakaroon ng cupping, parang kumikibal, para siyang nagkakamber pataas or pababa. And then on the other hand naman, nagkakaroon ng splitting, nagkaka-crack. This occurs hindi siya naturally. Pagka natural kasi yan, baka pwede yan mag-fall under dito. Pero kung siniseason na natin, so that's the time na nagkakaroon siya ng mga defects. And then we also have honeycombing, similar sa concrete. Ayan. Springing, um, ano siya, nagkakaroon siya ng, ano to, nagka-camber siya or hindi siya nagiging tuwid, pero um, along the direction nung sa ilalim. Like, kuha tayong paint. Drawing natin. Ayan. So let's say, di ba meron tayong kahoy. Okay. So kunwari yung section, di ba ganyan yung kahoy. Okay. So yung ano niya, camber niya or pag ganito, along the short direction, along the vertical direction pala ito. Ito yung umaangat, tong portion na to dito sa gitna. Ayan. So hindi na siya pantay. Now on the other hand naman, yung isa naman, which is the bowing, ayan, yung springing is a bowing, is kapag pag ganito naman. Tapos, pag ganyan yung pagkaka-camber nung ating Yan. So, nandito naman siya. Okay, so yung long direction naman niya ito. Yung longer side naman yung umangat. Sorry. Ito. Yung shorter side yung umangat. Dito yung longer side. Okay? Ayan. So, hindi na siya pantay doon. Anyway, ayan. And then lastly, yung twisting. So, nag-twist. Pumilipit yung ating kahoy. So, seasoning. Okay, seasoning. So, there are two main ways of seasoning timber. The first is that natural method, meaning we dry the timber naturally by air. Pero normally, mahirap to i-achieve kasi may moisture. Maliban na lang if the room temperature na paglalagay natin would eliminate moisture. Take note, this timber normally season sa mga provinces natin, ganyan. Kasi hindi mo naman dadalhin sa Maynila yan ng basa pa yung kahoy. So, tinutuyo yun doon. Kaya lang, di ba, given yung humidity doon. So, kunwari, pwede siyang matuyo ngayon, din mamayang gabi, kapag pinatuyo natin, so, pwede siyang, hindi, mamayang gabi. And then later, mamayang gabi hanggang madaling araw, pwede uling bumalik yung moisture kasi humid yung doon. So, medyo moist doon sa environment. So, it's hard. Ngayon, yung iba ang ginagamit naman is they use kiln drying. So, iniinit nila talaga yung kahoy. So, where wood is circulated and the temperature of the wood is controlled by a kiln. So, ito siya. Ayan. So, ito ilalagay mo lang sa isang room. Merong mga spacer para hindi magdikit-dikit, tsaka para pati yung ilalim matuyo kapag natural yung drying. On the other hand naman, isa naman may apparatus. Normally sa atin ito, kung nakakita na kayo ng kahoy na hindi masyadong natuyo, ako kasi naka-encounter ako, kapag pinukpok mo siya, iba yung tunog ng kahoy. Kapag ano mo, tapos ano talaga siya, as you get through doon sa kahoy na hindi masyadong na dry, alam mong parang somehow may moist sa loob. Pero yung normally naman wala yung mga nabibili. Ewan ko lang bakit um once na actually matagal na, it's a long time na nung may ginamit kami kahoy, hindi pa masyadong tuyo. Ayan. And then I think if you are purchasing na, if I could remember, you can also purchase what kind of dry. Pwede mong sabihin sa na kiln dry yung gusto mong bilhin kasi tuyo talaga 'yon. Yung air dry kasi may chances na hindi siya tuyo. Yun nga yung nagamit namin. Then ang tendency kasi like for example, if you're going to use that as part of the structural member, like I think before yung kinikwento ko ngayon is ginamit namin sa bahay ng ano ko, grandparents ko. Yung mga lumang bahay na ang sahig is kahoy. Kapag ginamit mo siya, later on, pagka natuyo, nag-shrink. So, lumiliit kasi ang kahoy kapag ka nag-ano yan. Kapag ka na tuyo ng gusto. So, yun. Pero yun nga lang, in terms of kiln drying, it is prone to additional defects. Pero with proper handling naman, so may iwasan din naman natin yung mga defects like what I've shown you a while ago. Okay, so what's the difference of air and kiln? So ayun nga, gumagamit tayo ng aparatus or ng device, yung isa wala. Then sabi dito, major benefit of kiln can derive to lower moisture contents, okay? That can be obtained by air seasoning. In fact, ayan, we must use kiln in countries having cool, moist weather. Ito yung sinasabi ko kasi it's very advantageous compared with natural. Yun yung sa air dry naman, so there are no internal tension baked into wood. Yun naman yung kinaganda sa air dry. Kasi nga hindi na pupuwersa yung pagtuyo. Okay? So kiln dry wood can be more fragile and break off easily. Yeah. Well, ano naman siya, case to case basis kung saan magandang gamitin. So which is appropriate or what are the appropriate places for us to use air or kiln. Okay. Timber structure. So these are the examples of timber structures that are using timber. I think the reason why pala class na tinanggal na tama ba? Sa curriculum ng lower batches to kasi hindi na daw isasama sa board exam subjects. Well, nadinig ko lang, not sure if that's true. But well, if that's the direction of the PRC, so I am not in the position to argue with that. Pero considering that hindi na nga masyadong ginagamit, it may be reasonable, but still there are locations or there are projects that are still using timber like these projects. Okay, so meron tayo sa Melbourne, we have the one in London, and another one again in London, and then in Norway. That's this one in Vancouver, the Bracommons Tollwood House. And then we have the W350 project in Tokyo. Now, which is set to complete on 2041. So, di ba, tinatagal na natin pero meron pa palang gumagamit. And then, I also have another examples pala, by the way, ito pala yung itsura ng Bracommons Tollwood House. Then I have an example, this one. This is project ng office namin sa Australia. It's the Bula Katit Gin sa Murdoch University. If I'm not mistaken, this is a convention center or parang lugar ata ko sa nagka-graduation yung mga estudyante. If I'm not mistaken ha. So, ayun, this is a timber material. So still timber is still being used worldwide pero hindi lang siya ganun ka common na, unlike with other materials such as steel and concrete. So what's good with the timber structures is that they possesses natural beauty. So yung finish pa lang nila is enough for us to use, as well as yung mismong finish niya na talaga as part of yung parang architectural finish. So again, yung finish ng timber or yung natural look ng timber can be used as parang architectural finish na compare with concrete and steel. So naglalagay pa tayo ng mga finishes like tiles, paint, etc. Ito kahit wala na. Ayan, makikita nyo naman how good that material when used. And then we also have another structure, the Long Full Life Experience Center. So still, ayan, hindi siya pinipinturahan, pero they have a parang aesthetic vibes or aura kasi nga yung mismo timber natin, again, meron na siyang trait na ano na ganun yung itsura niya. And then there's another one. At iyan naman yung mga structures, mga buildings or vertical structure. Ito naman mga horizontal which is made out of timber. So for the timber, ayan, again, walang pintura, di ba? So the natural look of the timber uses as the aesthetic finish of the material. So it's also being used as a bridge sa Mexico at sa San Diego, pero I don't think it can carry as much weight as concrete or steel does, or probably if they can alteration or modification with the design will is needed for the proper application. Pero ito kasi parang ano lang to, not sure if light vehicle or probably horse-drawn cart or ano lang siya, foot 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 traffic lang. So tao lang yung pwedeng dumaan. Ayan. And then syempre, yan yung mga pinakita natin project sa ibang bansa. So hindi tayo papahuli. Meron tayong pambato, yung footbridge sa Zamboanga. Yun nga lang nasira. So ayan, so sabi nila ginasusan daw nila to ng malaki itong footbridge na to. Not sure how many millions were being invested with that. I think merong video nito kung paano sila nahulog yung mga nag-inspect. Yun lang. Okay, and then pero meron naman tayong mga ganitong project na unfortunate. Pero meron tayong project na may pagmamalaki, which is the Mactan Cebu International Airport. So if you've been to Cebu, so I think this is in Terminal 2. Ano to ata international flight kasi I've been to Mactan Cebu International Airport pero local yung flight ko kasi Manila to Cebu lang. Ano, hindi naman ganyan yung itsura. Luma yung design. Pero ito, I think this is Terminal 2. So the most impressive feature of the new terminal is drastic roof structure made out of glulam or glue laminated timber beams. Ayan. So ayan siya. Okay? And then what are the disadvantage and the advantage and disadvantages of timber structure? Okay, so first is timber is readily available kasi puputulin mo na lang yan. Then timber is safe, easy to work, cost-effective, versatile, visually appealing. Ayun nga yung reason. Kaya hindi na natin pinifinish yan. And then, is naturally anti-corrosive. So hindi siya kinakalawang. Okay? But the problem is, so meron pa rin siyang disadvantage. Timber shrinks, swells, twists, cracks, and bends over time in different climatic condition. And then, most timbers are prone to pest, rat, mold, and fungi attacks. So, ang pinaka-common na naninira niyan is yung anay. And then yung mga molds. Recently, 'di ba, we have part 20 more than 2 weeks or 20 days na ulan ng ulan, 'di ba? I think nung ano 'yun, July ba or August. Pero recently lang, 'di ba? So, um shinare sa akin nung office mates ko na ang bahay nila is gawa sa kahoy. Kahoy meaning yung parang sa home bodies na team kahoy. So meron sila mga finishes sa bahay na kahoy. Although yung bahay nila is not made out of wood, pero there are many materials na ginamit sa bahay nila na made out of wood na hindi nila pininturahan. Kasi pag pininturahan yan, hindi yan magkakaroon ng mga molds. Yun, nagkaroon ng mga molds, nagkaroon ng green. Dahil nga naging moist, nagkaroon ng mga black spots, yung mga mga materials nila. So yun lang naman yung disadvantage nun using whenever we are using uh, mga natural look wood. So it is prone sa mold lalo na kapag maulan tapos ma-moist yung environment condition. But we can we can mitigate that by installing or providing dehumidifier sa mga bahay natin. Merong device na yung para siyang air purifier. Yung purifier kasi pantanggal ng alikabok. Yung air dehumidifier is pantanggal ng humidity sa bahay. So, yun, yung na-absorb niya lahat ng humid tapos nakakaipon siya ng tubig Para ma-lessen natin yung effects of molds doon sa mga ano natin, mga finishes. Now, also one thing that can be considered para maiwasan natin 'tong disadvantage na 'to, yung second bullet is you use yung mga dehumidifier balls, yung may nabibili nun sa market. Para siyang ano, para siyang siguro kunwari nakalagay siya sa parang microwavable, tapos may mga bilog-bilog na maliliit. So dehumidifier yun. So yun naman, same din, ina-absorb din niya yung humidity, tapos iniipon niya yung naiipon, yung humid air doon, tapos nako-convert siya sa tubig. So yun. Also another thing is tawag dito, yun yung same concept na nakalagay sa mga sapatos. Di ba pag bumili tayo ng sapatos, meron parang sachet ng pocket na may mga bilog-bilog. So yun, pangtanggal din yun ng humidity sa sapatos kasi para hindi kagad mag-crack, hindi bumaho, or hindi ano to, luma bigla yung material nung mga binibiling sapatos. Ayan. And then yun, with the ano pala, with the pest, there are mga pest controls can be done. We can use we can use yung mga pamatay-anay or whatever pest controls that that um that can be used for us to safeguard yung timber natin. And then also, timbers tend to silver or look old if left natural and unpainted. So yung pag-silver, ito usually kapag may tumamang malakas doon sa kahoy, kunwari nagpupukpok ka ng pako, tapos dumulas yung martilyo, tumama doon sa kahoy. Yung para nagkakaguhit siya ng itim or parang silver look. So yun naman yung pangit dito kasi hindi mo na ano siya, irreversible. Ganon din yung ano, yung pagiging mukha niyan luma, 'di ba yung mga antique woods kapag naluma, medyo nagda-darken. Ayun. So yun naman yung ano, yun yung another disadvantage. And then I think for that one, yung sa pag silver, yung may ingatan mo na lang para hindi ka gumuhit dun sa ano, sa timber, or might as well instead of using hammer, just use bolts and nuts na lang with washer para ah, gagamit ka na lang ng drill for the connections. And then yung pag look old naman, sometimes they use mga varnish, yung mga clear coat para mabawasan yung pagiging luma niya. Or yung ibang ginagawa kapag kaluma na, ano, sinasanpaper nila para mawala yung coating sa ibabaw, tapos magmukha ulit bago yung kahoy. Ayun nga lang, if you're gonna do that, ninipis naman yung material. O, ayun. Or might as well, kung gusto nyo, pinturahan na lang. Kaya nga lang, mawawala na yung natural look ng material. And then lastly, timber maintenance can seem to be higher than other building material. The reason why is that whenever we are maintaining, normally, we replace timber. Hindi katulad sa ano, yung maintenance ng other structure, like sa steel, rust, tatanggalin mo yung rust, etc. Pero sa maintenance kasi, although they may be equal sa cost of the material replacement, and like for example pangtanggal ng rust, kaya lang kasi ano minsan kapag may papalitan tayo, massive yung papalitan. So yun, tsaka medyo minsan dumadami yung kailangang i-maintain. For example, nagpalit tayo ng mga biga doon sa bahay dahil nga nakita mo may anay yung isang portion. Unfortunately, nung ginalaw mo, lahat pala ang dami. So halos lahat mapapalitan. Kaya siya mas magastos. Ayun. And then, yan. Choices of timber strength basis. So for beams, rafter, and joints, high bending strength and adequate stiffness. So ito yung kailangan nating piliin kapag nagsaselect tayo ng timber material. On the other hand naman, for column and post, high compressive strength and adequate stiffness naman yung kailangan naman natin. So yun. Meron naman tayong parang list of timber na available sa Philippines na pwede natin gamitin. So, yun, we need to select the appropriate one depending on the use. And then for poles, yun, we need high bending poles. Yan yung mga poste. Yan naman high bending. So bakit high bending kahit pa vertical? Kasi syempre wala namang other load yan. Hindi naman yan magke-carry ng load perpendicular to its to its um to its cross section. Pero yung mga poles kasi as we eto. For example, yung pole, meron tayong poste ganyan. Yung mga poste ng Meralco, hindi naman tayo naglalagay ng load dito eh. Ang nilalagay nating load nandito sa gilid. Okay? And then normally kapag meron yung wire nakaganyan, so ano siya, tawag dito interdependent with the other poles. So either pag ganyan yung magiging bending niyan or on the other side. Okay. Or probably paharap or patalikod. Ayun. Tsaka kasi pahaba siya. Ayan. Ganun din kapag lumindol. So more on yun yung behavior niya. So sa bending kasi yung longitudinal niya yung nag-react. Unlike again sa mga column, vertical talaga siya. Okay? Next is dimension. Punta tayo sa dimension. Okay. So for the dimension, so may tinatawag tayong dress dimension. Dress dimension, it is where we cut the timber into lumber, and then we size them. For example, ito. Kunwari this is 2x4. Okay, kunwari 2x4. 2 pointer. 2 and then this is 4. Okay? Now, hindi pa siya dress dimension. Ang tawag doon undress dimension. Pagka dress dimension, kikinisin pa yan. Okay? So ayan, nasabi dito, for dimension 4 inches or less, yung nominal dimension will be less by 3/8. So that is the dress dimension. Pagka greater than naman 4 inches yung side kung saan so that would be nominal minus 1 inch. Ayan. Plus itong 1 inch na to, that's for both side. Kung isang side lang, hatiin mo lang to sa kalahati. So 1/4 kung isang side lang yung i-dress. So the S by X designation simply refers how many sides have been pre-surfaced or kininis. So pag sinabi natin S2S, S3S, S4S, so maano nyo yan sa sa mga hardware. Pag sabi mong S2S nga po na 2x2 ganyan. So 2 sides lang niya yung kailangan yung makinis. So the reason why yung iba hindi na bumibili ng makinis kasi pwedeng for for formworks kasi sisirain din naman. Pero kapag may structural member siya or kunwari gagawa ka ng kama, ganun. So para hindi mo nakinisin ng sandpaper, ang binibili natin, dress dimensions na. Then class, please be mindful that, like for example, di ba, 2x2, kikinisin natin yung 2 sides, so that's less by 3/8. Example, itong side na to, tsaka itong side na to. Plus, ang pagkinis, normally, both sides. Ayan. Maliban na lang kung mag-request kayo. Now, if this is 2, di ba? Ito namang isa. So, 2 minus 3/8. Ganyan na siya. Pero, ang tawag dyan is S2S 2x2. Kahit lumiit na ito 1 point something na lang siya. Okay, 2x2 pa din yan. Baka kasi magtaka kayo mo, Suke, bakit hindi pantay? Bakit maliit? Ganon. So, yung pag-dress is nakakabawas na siya doon sa dimension. Pero, hindi nila kinakat yung kahoy na bawas na yung kikinisin. I mean, hindi nila kinakat yung kahoy, nakasama yung babawasin na portion ng kinis. Like, kunwari, alam mong ES2S, ito yung sukat na puputulin nila kasi tatanggalin nila to. So, hindi sila ganon. 2 by 2 yan, tapos kinisin mo, liliit. Basically, ganon. Baka lang magtaka kayo bakit hindi kasya. Bakit hindi kasya or bakit maluwag. Okay? Ayan. For the commercial sizes, comes in bars length 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. Also in thickness, wait lang. Sorry, class. Anyway, so yun. So these are the common size. So ito yung interval. But you are not limited with the sizes, lalo na if there are requirements with the sizes. So now we have the length, and then the thickness, and then the width. Okay. Well, it depends on how are you going to interpret yung thickness and width, but it is interchangeable kung paano yung orientation ng ating lumber kapag ginamit. So ito yung example ng mga sizes. Yung mga sinasabi nilang 2 por 2, so that is by 2 por 2, 2 por 3, 2 por 4, 2 por 6, etc. Meron din 4 por 4. So normally ginagamit ito sa mga poste. Nakakita ko noon once, ginamit siya sa poste ng yung service entrance ng kuryente. So yun. Then this one naman is the board foot on how we normally compute yung ating sizing yung ating dimension or ating estimate sa kahoy or minsan the price. Ganito din pag tinanong natin sa kunwari sa hardware magkano per board foot. So ganito, ito yung computation or this is the concept. If you forgot how to calculate the equivalence of one board foot. So first is let's say we have this dimension. So ano lang siya, 1 by 1 foot tapos ang thickness niya 1 inch. So that is a board foot. Okay, ito yung ating equivalent. Ganito yung board foot. So bago natin ituloy, so it is the unit of measurement for timber. It is a unit of volume. A board foot is a unit of volume. It is a measurement of 3 dimensions to determine the volume. Again, ang isang board foot ay 1 by 1 foot. Okay? Then ang thickness is 1 inch. So, para magkaroon tayo ng unit consistency, so just convert one way or the other if you're gonna express this into feet or you want to express that into inches. So pagka inches siya, that is 12 by 12 by 1. So that's 144 cubic inch. If it's in foot, so that's 1 by 1 by 1 over 12 foot. So that's 1 over 12 foot cubic inch. So, or ito naman yung ating conversion. Board foot, then over 144. Then board foot over this one. Pero might as well just remember na lang this figure. So yan yung equivalence of 1 board foot. Kahit hindi na to, alam nyo naman yun pagka sinabi mong 1 foot, that's 12 inch by 12 inch by 1. So let's multiply that. You would arrive on this. And then yun, you need to convert that into a board foot. So 1 board foot is equal to this one. So yeah. Okay. So let's proceed with the first problem. Example tayo. So determine the rest dimension. Okay. Determine the rest dimension of the following. So let's say we have a 2 by 4 S2S lumber. And then we have a 2 by 6 S3S, and then we have 2 by 6 S3S. Ayan. So, dito, so yung dress dimension natin is S2S, so ang babawasan natin yung longest side. So that would give us 4 minus 3/8. Kasi diba that's less than, if you could recall here, kapag 4 inches or less 3/8. If that's greater than 4 inches, that's 1/2 ang ibabawas kapag kininis. Ayan. So that is 3 and 5/8. So magiging actual measurement niya will be 2 by 3 and 5/8 kasi binawasan na natin to at kininis. Take note, yung 2 inches hindi siya nakakinis. Kung kikinisin yan, so babawasan din natin yan, magiging 1 and 5/8. Okay? So let's have naman yung this one, yung 6 by yung 6 yung 2 by 6. So that is yung 6, ileless natin ng 1/2. Take note kasi yun yung babawasan natin. Bakit yung 6 yung binabawasan? Bali ganito yung ano niyan, class yung logic ko with that. Teka, tingnan natin. For example, ito yung kanina. Ano nga yung 2 by 4. Okay? This is 2 by 4. Since ito, hindi naman natin to babawas, hindi natin to ang kikinisin natin is this side para ito yung iikse. Okay? So, ayan. So that would give us, ang babawasan natin ito, tsaka ito. Kaya yan yung binawasan natin ng 5/8. Pero kung gusto ng 5/8. Pero kung gusto mo, on the other hand, yan. Kung gusto mo, ito yung longest side yung kikinisin. Ito, pwede rin naman. So ang mangyayari, yung 4, intact. So mabawasan mo yung 2. Yan yung 3/8 pala to. Yung 2, teka. Yan. Ito 3. Yung 2, siya yung ililis mo ng 3/8 para maging 1 and 1/8. So yun. Sa example ko, ang kininis natin, itong shorter side para hindi masyadong ninipis yung kahoy. Okay, sa 2 by 6 na example natin with this one. So, eto, para hindi masyadong manipis, battery low. Wait. Wait lang class Kabit ko lang yung charger na laptop. Yan. Okay, so going back. So if this is 2 and 6, so sabi daw is 3S. So we cut this portion, we dress this portion. Okay, para hindi masyadong ninipis. So yan yung first 2 sides and then the other side naman is sa kabila dito. Kasi 3 tatlong sides na. So yung 6, ililis mo ng 1/2 because that is greater than. Ito naman, ililis mo ng 3/5 pero times over 2 pa. So kalahati lang ng 3/5 kasi isang side lang. At 3/8 pala, sorry. That's 3/8. Ayan. So magiging 3/16 yung ililis mo. Kaya ganito yung ating solution. So that's yung 6 less 1/2 because that's greater than 4. So 5 1/2 and then the other one naman yung 2, you less 3/16 kasi 3/8 over 2 yan. So it will give us 1/13 and over 16. So ito yung magiging the rest dimensions na niya. Pero ang tawag pa rin talaga dyan is 2 by 6 S3S nga lang. Okay, hindi natin to sinasabi sa sa hardware. Sasabihin mo lang S3 2 by 6 S3S or 2 by 4 S2S. Okay? On the other hand, let's have 2 by 6 na S4S lumber. So all sides will be dressed. So yung 6 ma-minus mo ng 1/2. yung 2 ima-minus mo ng 3/8. So ito yung sagot. 5 and 1/2 and then 1 and 5/8. Pero again, ang tawag diyan is 2/6 S4S lumber. Okay? Ayun lang, ganun lang ka-simple yung yung application of the dress dimensions. And then let's try naman yung ating board foot. So sabi dito, how much is the total cost of a Nara tree? Ang dimension daw ng Nara tree is 0.8 in diameter. Ang height is 9 meters. If the unit cost of a board foot is 145 per board foot. So mukha siyang mura, di ba? Kasi 145 lang. Pero malaki ang kahoy na yan. So paano natin gagawin? So let's get first the volume of the Nara tree. Na ito yung dimension. Kasi di ba take note that the board foot is unit of volume. So pi over 4, 0.8 squared, that's the diameter, times 9, the height. So ang sagot is 4.524. Now, i-convert lang natin kasi yung board foot, it is an English system. Hindi siya metric, hindi siya SI. So, let's convert that. Ito yung conversion of meters to foot para maging cubic meters and cubic foot. And then we also convert the volume na cubic feet sa board foot. So, ito yung conversion natin. So, the answer is, yan, 1,915.55 board foot. Okay? Using this board foot, so it is the Nara tree is now expressed into unit of volume na board foot. So we can now use the unit cost para maka-cancel out na yung unit. So the answer is the answer is 277,776.6 pesos. So we just multiplied the total board foot sa unit cost. So ganun kamahal ang isang puno ng Nara. Ayan. Bigay pa tayo ng isa pang problem. Okay? So isa pang problem. Sabihin natin we have a 10 mahogany. 10. Ito yung dimensions nila, average dimensions, and then the average height. Okay? Then, if its unit cost is 55 per board foot, so mas mura siya. So, same process, just get the volume. You will be arriving into 2.403 cubic meters. Let's convert that into cubic feet. And then that cubic feet, magka-cancel to. Let's convert this into board foot. Magka-cancel ngayon itong cubic foot. Now, the answer is 1,017.687 per puno pa lang ito ha, kasi isang puno pa lang naman yung kinukuha natin. So for the total cost, so that is the board foot natin na 1,017.687. You multiply that sa unit cost na 55 per board foot, and then ilang piraso ba to? 10. So the answer is 559,772.7 peso. So ito yung presyo ng 10 mahogany. Ayun. Plus the reason why yung iba sa provinces na medyo remote tas hindi naman nila ginagamit yung lupa kasi idle or hindi pa nila i-develop. They normally plant trees like this for for selling later on. So for for use. So puputulin talaga. Not sure on how long the mahogany tree is required. Not sure if it's 5 years or 10 years bago i-harvest. Pero yun, actually ganun siya katagal bago mo siya ma-harvest. Pero kunwari wala ka namang gagawin dun sa lupa mo, tetenga lang. Lalo kayo, kunwari sa provinces, if you have, so it's a good business for you to plant trees and then later on cut it. Yun lang, kailangan lang to hinga ng permit that the mahogany tree that you're gonna plant is for business purposes or talagang puputulin siya after certain time. Ayun. Any question with the calculation? So straightforward lang naman class eh. So so wala namang pagkumbaga rocket science na involved pa dito. And then lastly, for my last slide, so just showing you the timber connections available or being done sa timber. Okay? So yung normal na using tank and groove sa mga flooring or other parts. And then yung iba gumagamit ng lap and ng lap joint, and then they normally add wedges, kumbaga pampahigpit. So yan, pwede rin to ganito joint, tapos ipapasok mo yung tang para din siyang tang and groove somehow, pero yun naglalagay tayo ng mga wedges. Ayan, or like this one. And then sometimes if not wedge, we normally add bolts and nuts like this. Ayan, meron siyang butas. Or sometimes we add plates. So integration na to with steel. And then we normally insert plate inside ng ating nung ating tawag dito timber. So there are connections that example that can resist moment. I think this one is an example. And then there's other one na lang siya, parang mga pinako lang or na hindi siya mag-resist ng moment, pero yun for on wala non-moment resisting siya. Pero yung iba through braces yung pag-resist niya ng moments. Ayun, I think that's it for for this lesson. Any question, class? Wala. So I will be sending later sheet work. Ano na lang siya, assignment to be submitted na lang at a certain period of time. Kung hindi ko siya ma-upload right away today, so I will be uploading it probably later, mamaya. Okay, so teka, let's stop muna.